Hey, I'm Braden.
And I'm Ian from Wheel Every Weekend.
And we're here to test 5 different sets of shocks that we bought with our own money.
Yep, completely blind. We don't know what any of the shocks are that we tested in what order.
Yeah, and we're doing it all on the exact same truck, on the exact same terrain.
Yep, exact same tire pressure. Everything else we're keeping the same.
Yeah.
We're just going out to the desert. We're trying to figure out which shock is worth your money.
That was so good that I have nothing else to say.
What's up, Nick? We're out here in the desert today, changing over the next set. We're gonna try out the Icons. We're gonna take off the old set and put these on. Guys, they still don't know what's on the truck or anything. They're still blindfolded. We're out here knocking tail wells.
We took off on a nice little joyride.
Yep, and now it's time for test numero 3.
Yep. Sweet.
All right, we're doing test number 3. We still have no idea what suspension setup we're driving.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's been interesting so far, but I'm excited for this one.
Nick did tell me he drove this one around a little bit, test drive before we did, and he said it feels good. Oh yeah.
So far it feels pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, oh yeah, dude.
Wow, that actually feels amazing.
What more do you want? This is great.
Yeah, that feels...
Here, wait, I'll go. Dude, this one is good.
Yeah, like I thought the last one was good, and it was, but this is better.
Yeah, it's definitely better though.
Yeah.
That's good, because honestly, I was worried that they would all be the same.
Yeah, I
was
did
like
have
my-
that feeling too. And I was really worried after doing that first one, being like, is the Tacoma just shit?
Yeah, is it just bad? Like, is it just a bad platform?
Just the Tacoma is
Yeah.
terrible, and like all these suspensions are just like putting lipstick on a pig.
Yeah.
Let's switch.
Okay.
It's a little bit of understeer there.
Yeah. It's the saying, understeer scares the driver, oversteer scares the passenger.
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
that, dude.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's bouncy, but
yeah.
livable.
You can feel the frame flex.
I think that larger washboard, the last shocks may have been a little better. Both these shocks, however, leagues better than the first set we put on. How's these little nuisance rocks? Oh, not bad, man.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's got a bit of a buck in the back.
Yeah, they all do, though. I think
Yeah.
that's partially because there isn't weight.
That's a Tacoma.
Yeah.
So we're headed into the slow-mo section, the more rock crawly kind of 4-low scene, I guess.
We're twisting, yeah, we're doing the little twister. The speed limit's 5, apparently.
5.
I bet I could hit it at least 6.
I don't think we've done it at 5 miles per hour yet.
No.
That's pretty fast for this.
I know, I don't know what crawl control it was.
I mean, it's hard to tell between the different ones on this.
I think, yeah, the moguls, maybe, if all you're doing is driving, 3 miles an hour over stuff, maybe don't even buy shocks.
Yeah, or just get the cheapest ones.
Yeah, that's true, because the stock shocks are horrible.
Yeah, and you need something longer.
Yeah,
But
they are bad.
no reason to spend a ton of money if that's all you do.
Yeah, totally.
All right, hit the logs.
jam.
You're okay now, because there was like a gap in the
Yeah.
logs. It feels firmer than the last one, I'd say.
It feels firmer, but also good.
Yeah, like it doesn't feel bad, but
Yeah.
it feels firmer for sure.
Firm, but totally okay.
Yeah, like not uncomfortable.
No. Should we hit the ramp?
Might as well, we're doing it for every single one.
For no reason. It means nothing.
Literally, they're all flexed the same.
Yeah, it's the same vehicle. These
So
are
far,
good.
so good,
Really
yeah.
good, yeah. I really like these. These are the best ones so far, I believe.
All right, so we're doing this hill climb that has like some articulation and
Yeah, a little rock.
ledge in it.
I love these shocks.
Yeah,
These are great.
so far so good.
Yeah.
It's pretty good.
I can't imagine like much better. You know?
Though we did say that last time too.
That's true, and now they are better.
They are better.
All right, going down this pretty big hill. Yeah, good.
Yeah.
No complaints.
No complaints.
Road dogs.
So sick with the jokes. On
This
road, so far,
Great.
yeah, totally great.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Solid.
Haven't done any corners yet, but yeah, totally great, honestly.
This is actually nice because we get to test
Yeah, every single one.
every single set of
Yeah.
shocks for an hour's drive on
Yeah.
the road, which
Yeah.
is great.
That's like lots of time to figure out
Yeah.
if you like it or not.
I know, because
Yeah.
yesterday we liked them, and then we kept driving for a half hour and hated them, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
So I think it is important. Wow, look at that.
Yeah, over this. Because the other
Oh,
one like
that's
felt
great,
like
yeah.
that, right? And
Yeah.
this one is just planted.
Yeah, it's like the valving matches the spring rate.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
not like,
Yeah,
it's not there's
exactly.
more or less spring
Yeah.
that it's trying to compensate for. It's like,
Yeah, I'd say the ride quality is good.
yeah, I think it's comparable to number 2.
Yeah, I would agree.
I think on road, there's a wide margin of like acceptable ride quality
Yeah.
that it's sort of hard to discern between.
Yeah, that's fair. I do think like over those big G-out dips,
Yeah.
this one's definitely better, but over the small kind of like chattery bumps, they both felt fine. Yeah, like as far as body lean goes, I mean, it doesn't really feel that bad.
Yeah, there's more than number 1, but similar to number 2.
Yeah, I'd say it's very similar.
And I think a lot of people with these Tacomas, they mess them up by lifting them too high,
Oh yeah, 100%.
too heavy of springs, and then
Yeah.
you just have terrible ride quality. But
Yeah.
a lot of them don't even know what they're missing too.
No,
That's the worst
exactly.
part.
Like it's not every day that you get a chance to drive the same track with 5 different setups on it.
No, I've never done it.
Yeah, and just compare them back to back without even knowing. So you can't even be like, well, I really like the blue ones, right?
Yeah. What'd you think of the third shocks we tested, Braden?
I thought that they were good. They're very similar to Test 2.
Very similar, yeah.
Like, I bet that if we just went back to back without knowing that they were changed, it would be hard to tell if there was a difference.
I think there's a little bit of difference though in
Yeah.
like slow speed stuff. My intuition is that there may be 2 different piston designs, but tuned similarly.
Yeah. Especially like on the road, it felt very similar. Like the body roll is similar. They're a little bit firmer, but nothing that our backs complained about. And then through big dips, we did find that they were way more controlled than the second set.
Yeah, there is a ton less unmetered spring force when
Yeah.
going through that big G out section. The big dips in the desert, kind of as you're going down into a wash, but on pavement, and then coming back out, it didn't like bottom hard and spring back or anything.
Yeah, it just felt
great.
composed. Yeah, there wasn't that wallowing that we felt in a lot of the other shots.
Totally.
So. The slower speed stuff and like the smaller bumps felt great, I think. But as soon as we started hitting those big kind of whoop hits, it just got pretty bad. They top out like crazy. They were like bouncing and pogo sticking. The top out though was different than the first one.
It
Or
was,
the second one.
yeah.
It was a lot more subdued. Like there was some sort of bumper internally.
Yeah.
When it topped out, it just, you felt it and you heard it, but it wasn't like a clang. It was just like a thump kind of thing.
I think just the valving was dissipating more spring force because the second ones were so kind of like wobbly and loose that I think that as they were rebounding out, there was just a ton of unmetered spring force that was causing that violent top out, which isn't good for the life of the shock, really.
They did feel a bit firmer than Test 2. Not as firm as Test 1, but nothing is quite that bad.
No, nothing is
But
that bad.
yeah, so I'd say for like general dirt road cruising, Test 2 is probably a little better.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I think so.
but similar.
Similar, yeah. I think like low speed, chatterboard type stuff. Like chatterboard is weird because the input's actually really fast as far as inches per second, but then the actual amount it's moving is slow. So it's a combination of like all valving characteristics sort of in one,
Yeah,
but not
very hard
moving
to tune
much.
for.
And I think Test 2, my guess is it's like a linear piston with a flutter or a lot of bleed or something because you got that shaft speed over the small stuff.
For sure. Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy not knowing which one we're doing.
Yeah.
It's just like all my preconceived notions are just potentially going out the window.
Yeah.
So, yeah, definitely if you want to see more of our unbiased reactions to these shocks, subscribe. And we got a few more videos coming out, and we have a full series about this. So
I think the next one's the finale, right?
is it? We have two more.
We have 2 more. Sorry.
2 more, yeah.
Cut that. Let's see him.
Let's see him.
Yup.
Yeah,
Man.
exactly what we thought. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, that's impressive for an IFP.
I could not tell that it had an IFP.
Yeah, yeah, that's actually cool.
Yeah. I will say these, man, the rears have some crazy mounts on them though. Look at this thing.
Yeah.
What is going on there?
Yeah, that is crazy. And they have a different resi design on the shocks too.
Man, they really have nailed like on-road ride quality in a lot of the kits that I've installed.
Yeah, the on-road performance was good for sure.
Yeah.
The interesting thing is that it wasn't all that different from the linear pistons.
I think I mean, we'd have to open it up and look, but my guess is that a digressive piston also doesn't imply digressive valving
exactly.
too. So you can have a digressive piston with a ton of bleed and very little pressure on that face shim.
Yeah.
And then it can push it into linear, or even like, I know some of the 8100 series are tuned to be progressive on the compression side at least.
Right, yeah.
So I think
just using a generic piston.
Yeah, it's interesting. It just gives you like more options, I guess.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm impressed with these. I mean, I think these were the cheapest of all of them.
Yeah.
And compared to number 1, this is like a
light years
livable,
ahead. Yeah.
drivable truck. You could like own this and be happy.
Yeah, for sure. I have rebuilt a lot of these, and I've seen more crack coils on Icons than anything
Interesting.
else. And I've also seen a lot of leaking out of this setup here, just like covering oil. But I mean, I think that a lot of people just don't ever look at their shocks, and then 10 years later they want me to rebuild them.
That's possible too. I will say that the leaking that I've seen on these are not on the aluminum bodies. It's on the steel bodies, and then typically like in your area they'll rust out, and then that rust eats into the seals a bit. But I think with the aluminum body rear, you shouldn't have that issue. As long as the shaft hardness is up to spec and the plating on it is good, it should be okay. It is interesting. This is the only one that has an offset lower mount.
Yeah, and it would be interesting to see what that has to do with long-term durability.
Yeah, because you are side loading that main piston, and it's putting a little bit more load on that bronze bushing behind the seal head assembly.
Yeah.
I would have to guess.
Good guess. Crazy.
Crazy. Well, yeah.
Icons, there you go.
Well, thanks so much for watching, guys. Man, this was an awesome test. I want to thank Nick for installing all the shocks. I want to thank you guys for coming down here and doing this with me. This was super sick. If you guys like stuff like this, make sure you like and subscribe to Overland Outfitters. We're trying to do a bunch more of these tests just to make sure that we know when we're recommending something
that it's the best.
That it's the best.
Yeah. And go follow Ian on Wheel Every Weekend's YouTube and Instagram. He's got a lot of like way more in-depth stuff.
So cool. We'll catch you on the next one.